Two murder investigations from the case files of Lieutenant Joe Kenda. First, a petty debt is repaid with gunfire.
The rumor in the neighborhood was that Clarence was a dead man.
To crack the case, Kenda must uncover what drove this vendetta.
The hell out the way, Cass. He just wanted to send a message.
There's a fatal mixture here of emotion and bad feelings.
Get out!
Then,
What's going on here?
Kenda takes two patrolmen under his wing to solve one of the most bizarre shootings of his career.
Over 100 rounds have been fired into this kitchen.
Who says we need any detectives? We're gonna handle this.
This was a simple case, but it was so incredibly rare and so different that it is something you always remember. There is no such thing as an unsolvable crime. Think about your knowledge of human nature. Think about how and why people behave in the way they do. What is the evidence? What does it say? And at the end of the day, you have somebody by the throat, and that's the idea. There's one thing that never changes. Murder. A life has been taken. Their stories are now my stories. I never know where a case is going to lead, but I'll never stop until it's solved. Somebody has to look out for the victim. If you kill, I will find you.
It's Sunday evening at the Valley High Apartments, and Melanie Cruz is catching up with her good friend, Ramona Howard.
Here you go, hon. Oh, you're the best.
Ramona is pregnant and pretty close to going into labor.
I love the bassinet. I think you made the right choice. You do? Yeah. Thanks. What's going on out there? Is that a gunshot?
They panic, they go outside of their apartment to see what's happening.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Please. Call the ambulance. Oh god.
She realizes, there's something going on.
What is it? The baby's coming. Right now, you need to call 2 ambulances.
Across town, Joe Kenda is immersed in one of his favorite pastimes.
When I'm drawing, that's all that's happening. And I don't think about anything else. It is an escape for me from the realities of the world. My drawing is about landscapes, buildings, all sorts of different things, none of which relate to what I do for a living. It's always especially difficult for me to be interrupted in that process by the phone ringing because I know who's on the other end.
It's kinda.
Dispatch informed me of a shooting on the east side of town.
Alright, I'll be there in 45 minutes.
If I was interrupted in drawing, I would tear up what I had in front of me. I'd destroy it.
How are you, Sarge?
Jones?
What's wrong, guy? Our victim's a 23-year-old male named Clarence Branch, who was shot in the chest, and we just got word that he was DOA at the hospital.
Any witnesses?
Yes, the victim's girlfriend, Cheryl Sinclair, was there with her child. The kid was sick, however, so they were escorted to the hospital as well.
Alright, let's take a look at the scene.
Sure thing. It's on the end.
She undoubtedly sees this, but her child is very sick, so we don't have a starting place until we can talk to somebody that has some knowledge. When I walk into this apartment, it's obvious that a child lives here. There are drawings on the wall, there are stuffed animals and toys on the floor everywhere.
These are casings. 825?
Yes, sir.
But our victim was only shot once, right?
Correct.
2 expended .25 caliber casings. So 2 shots fired, 1 hit the victim. Where'd the other one go?
So our victim died right here. Where those belong to?
There's blood droplets where the victim was found, but several feet away in a separate direction, there's also blood droplets. Well, where do those blood droplets come from? Do we have somebody else that shot here?
Excuse me, Sergeant. David Thomas Livery outside. He's the apartment manager. He says he has some information you want to hear.
Okay. Let's go talk to him.
So the building manager is a great resource because they know who comes and goes, who stays up late, who goes to work early.
Delivery. So what do you got for us?
I was out here working on this doorknob and I heard all this noise.
The apartment manager observed 2 people running from the apartment.
One guy went running one way and the other guy went the other way and they just both disappeared.
So these 2 people are likely to be involved in this.
Do you know these guys? Did you get a good look at them?
Now, to be honest, I was really kind of scared myself, so I just kind of ducked.
Thank you.
This isn't a ton of information, but considering a few minutes ago I had nothing, I'll take it.
Sir, there's a neighbor I think you should speak with. Who's that?
April Travis. She lives in the building across the street. Says she knows the victim.
All right, thank you. Miss Travis? I'm Detective Kendall. I understand you know Clarence Branch?
Yes, I'm good friends with his girlfriend, Cheryl.
Apparently her children play with their children, and she has had numerous conversations with both Clarence and Cheryl.
What can you tell me about Clarence?
I know he's former military. Got divorced a little while back. He's a really nice guy. I've never known him to get into any kind of trouble.
The word was if you needed anything, you'd go to Clarence, and chances are he would help you out.
What about Cheryl? What do you know about her?
She's from Texas. She and her kid moved in with Clarence not that long ago.
She reports to us that Clarence Branch has 2 children from a previous engagement, and he has partial custody.
Is Cheryl divorced as well?
As far as I know, she's still going through a divorce with her husband in West Texas. I think his name is Felton.
We don't know who this husband is. We don't know if he's distressed about the divorce. We don't know any of the dynamics. What if this marriage is ending badly and something is happening as a result?
Do you know if there's any issues in his divorce?
I'm not sure. Look, all I know is that she didn't want to see Felton ever again.
In divorces, it's not uncommon for children to be used as instruments of revenge. Here we have a girl from Texas getting divorced in Texas. Then she has removed this child from the state of Texas, probably with no one's permission. And bad feelings that could have led to gunshot wounds in the case of Clarence.
Felton, what are you doing here?
Where's our daughter? Where's Rosie? I want my daughter.
You can't be.
Rosie.
Hey, Rosie, you want to come to bed? What's going on, sir?
Get the hell out of my house, man.
My daughter.
This is just terrible that this has happened. Do you know who did it?
Not yet. We're getting there. Thank you.
We came here knowing nothing, but now we know quite a bit. Cheryl Sinclair is in the process of getting a divorce, and now her new boyfriend winds up dead. So the obvious question is, what's her soon-to-be ex-husband up to these days? Particularly on this day. So we're investigating the death of Clarence Branch, a 23-year-old shot to death at his front door by person or persons unknown. We don't have a lot of information, but we're starting to get more details about Cheryl Sinclair, the woman he lives with.
So the police figure out pretty quickly that Cheryl's actually married to a man who lives in Texas.
How did you find us? No!
When you're hearing this, your first thought is, could he have tracked her down from Texas to Colorado and ended up in an altercation and ended up shooting Clarence? That's something we got to look at.
The following morning, Detective Stephen Jones reaches out to a small sheriff's department in West Texas for some answers.
So witnesses can attest to his whereabouts?
Yes, sir. Alibi confirmed on multiple accounts.
You're sure about that?
Oh, no doubt. Besides, I've known Felton Sinclair since he was a child. That boy didn't kill nobody. Don't have it in him.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your help.
You take care now.
Mr. Sinclair has a very firm alibi, and so the soon-to-be ex-husband is off the table.
The investigation feels stuck in first gear. But before long, a new lead materializes.
Hey, Sarge, one of our guys got a hold of Clarence's girlfriend, Cheryl, at the hospital. Apparently, her kid's feeling better and she's headed home shortly.
Perfect. Let's go talk to her.
That's a help to this investigation. Cheryl was there when this shooting happened.
This all still feels like a bad dream.
We know how hard this is, Cheryl. It's our best hope of finding out who did this.
I know.
Cheryl explains that there's been some bad blood between Clarence and a resident of the building whose name is Albert James.
Clarence owed Albert's wife $20 for some babysitting she did for us a few weeks back, and he just hadn't gotten around to paying her back yet.
Only $20?
Yeah, but it was more than enough to piss off Albert, apparently.
Cheryl says a rumor in the neighborhood was that Albert had been telling people that Clarence was a dead man.
Baby, what are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
What do you mean, don't worry about it?
So Clarence, in response to hearing about these threats, bought a gun.
Clarence!
We're gonna keep that right in here.
Is this really necessary, Clarence? You know I don't like guns.
I know, baby, I know. We gotta protect ourselves.
Mr. Branch decides he doesn't need anyone's help but his own and engages in a one-man arms race and buys a handgun. When you take matters into your own hands that are police matters, the results often are not very good.
And sure enough, Albert shows up at our front door last night.
Claire said there was going to
The door, he didn't see Albert. He saw Nathan.
Nathan?
Nathan Emerson. He lives here in the building. So Clarence opens the door for Nathan, and in comes crazy Albert right behind him.
Cheryl surmised that perhaps maybe Albert had paid Nathan a couple of bucks to knock on the door so that Clarence thought it was Nathan at the door.
So if we talk to this Nathan, he'll back up his entire story?
Oh, I don't know. I hardly know the guy. Who knows what he's gonna say? He might lie his ass off to protect Albert. I'm just telling you what I know.
And this interview's going on with Cheryl, and you're getting suspicious about some of the things she's telling you.
So if we give you a gunshot residue test, are you going to pass it?
What do you mean, gun residue?
Well, it's a test to see if there's any discharge on it from firing a weapon.
Well, I'm not gonna pass that.
But why not?
Because I shot the gun.
My. This is certainly getting more interesting.
When Albert came in, he was acting all crazy, so I got the gun and I thought that would scare him off, but instead he came at me, so I had to shoot him.
And where'd you shoot him?
In his arm?
This is a reasonable argument under the circumstances. First entry, someone assaults someone advances towards you. She has a self-defense argument.
Okay, then how did Clarence go about getting shot?
Albert came and took the gun away from me.
She says he takes it, twists it out of her hand, knocks her to the floor, turns around and fires one shot at Clarence.
And then Nathan and Albert took off while my man laid there dying.
We don't know why we had two casings at the crime scene. The second shot went into Albert James's arm. So our bad guy is not only on the loose, he is wounded, and he is still armed with Clarence Branch's pistol.
Just get on the radio and contact all the medical centers and get on the look out for this guy.
Mona?
It's now a plus that we know that Albert James has been shot. because he's going to need medical attention. So we notify all the hospitals who are seeking an individual with a gunshot wound to the right forearm.
Where does Nathan live?
Apartment 111, I think.
We appreciate you talking to us. Let's go ahead and get some rest. We may want to talk to you again.
If Nathan actively participated in a plot to gain entry, he's as responsible for the death of Clarence Branch as Albert James is. At this point, we don't know much about Nathan. If he worked with Albert to ambush Clarence, who's to say he wouldn't take out two detectives who show up at his door? We're going to knock with our hands on our weapons, just in case we need them.
Whoa, everything okay? I was wondering when you guys were going to be coming by. Come on in. You want to know what I saw over at Clarence Branch's place, right?
So you admit you were there?
Yeah, man.
So in a surprising turn of events, Nathan is not only cooperative, but he's happy to speak to us.
I ain't got no car, and I needed to go see my uncle, so I was hoping to bum a ride off of Clarence. When I got up there, Clarence opens the door, and this guy comes out of nowhere and just blows right through me and into the apartment.
It's apparent from what Nathan says that Albert James took a moment of opportunity and he confronts Clarence.
I don't even know this guy, but he's like screaming at Clarence, and the next thing you know, I freaked out and got my ass out of there before I got shot too. I wasn't having no part of that.
So Nathan is not a participant. He's not a shill to open the door. He's not anything involving this offense. The story he tells and the story we know from other witnesses makes it perfectly believable. Nathan is out. We don't charge him with anything.
All right, appreciate the help.
Yeah, man. Whatever you need.
Go for Kendall.
So we've pretty much washed our hands of Nathan when I get a radio call.
I understand you're looking for a suspect named Albert James in connection with a shooting.
10-4, that's correct.
It's the sheriff's department, and what they tell me is exactly what I was hoping to hear. We're investigating the death of Clarence Branch by gunshot. We've just been told by the sheriff's department that the perfect person has come into our hands.
I understand you're looking for a suspect named Albert James in connection with a shooting.
10-4, that's correct.
Well, it looks like he turned himself in.
Did you say turned himself in?
He walks in and announces to the deputy behind the counter, "I've been shot and I have a gun." The deputy says, "Get on your knees." And they take him to the hospital to treat his wound.
10-4, we'll head over to the hospital and take it from there. Ken out.
The deputy disarms him for the .25 caliber pistol in his pocket. Then they take him to the hospital to treat his wound. So let's go talk to the man and see what he has to say.
So James, we're going to talk about what happened between you and Clarence Branch.
Albert James is hurt, but he's basically going to be fine. We advise him of his rights. He waives and launches into a story.
Clarence, he owed my girlfriend some money. So I went over there to talk to him about it, but when I got there, it just got so violent.
He says Clarence pulls him inside his apartment.
Clarence had this tight hold on me. And his wife, she just came in and shot me for it. I got the gun, we started struggling, and it just went off.
Just went off, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
His story is the transparent iced tea story, about as weak as they get.
Well, we got reports of you telling people you're going to kill Clarence over his death. What do you have to say about that?
And he looks at both of us for a few seconds and says,
"I want my lawyer."
That's fine. You're going to need one.
Yo! I didn't do it!
Albert James can say whatever he likes, but it's established by the witness statements that Albert has an abiding hatred for Clarence Branch. Why would any reasonable person believe that Albert James has had a change of heart and now he's going to be a priest when he goes to see Clarence Branch? That is unadulterated bullshit.
Even though Albert James isn't talking, there's one person who might be willing to set the record straight. Albert's girlfriend, Cassie Davis.
So we understand there was some sort of debt?
This is so stupid. Clarence owed me some money for some babysitting I did.
She says she babysat for 3 children. 2 belong to Clarence, 1 belongs to Cheryl.
So how were they?
They were great, no problems at all.
All right, cool. Thanks for the help, Cassie.
Cheryl gave me 10, but it's gonna be 20 for the other 2.
Can I pay you later? Look, I ain't got the cash on me right now, and... come on, Cass. Look, I'll give it to you this week. I promise I'm good for it.
Okay?
Cool, thanks.
Then the week came and went and he never paid. I told Albert and he got very upset. And he tried to get the money from Clarence.
Albert, yo, what's going on, man?
What do you mean for what?
Oh, man. I forgot about that, yo. Let me get it to you this week, okay?
No, we waited long enough. You're gonna give me that money now.
You ain't gonna come up to my house telling me what to do, all right? She'll get her money when I get it to her.
I'm gonna get that money now.
Words are exchanged, threats are made, but it's all verbal. Nobody's hitting anybody, nobody's shoving anybody. It's just all verbal confrontation.
And then a week later, I saw Clarence in the parking lot. And I asked him again about my money. Clarence! What's up with the money?
Look, I already told your pain-in-the-ass husband, you'll get your money when I'm ready to give it to you.
Look, I know it's only $20, but we're really tight on cash right now.
Get the hell out the way, Cassie.
Please, Clarence.
I said move.
Clarence shoves her backwards, almost knocks her over. This starts out as a $20 debt. It ends up being far more than that.
I never should have told Albert, but I did, and he lost it. He ended up storming out.
Kenda can fill in the blanks as to what transpired next.
Albert James is determined to take revenge on Clarence Branch, not just for the money, but primarily for touching his wife. Clarence crossed the line, and Albert was gonna get even.
What's up, man? Look, I know it's kind of late, but I was wondering if I could get a ride to my uncle's.
Yeah, sure, I don't see why not. What the problem is with it? Whoa, Albert.
No, you messed up, you punk bitch.
Hey, man, what's up, man? Just relax.
Albert James takes advantage of the moment, rushes into the apartment, and physically confronts Clarence.
Hey, Cheryl, we gotta get this going. Relax.
Get out!
You ain't gonna shoot nobody.
Get out!
He screams in pain, but takes the gun away from her. Albert James fired one shot into Clarence Branch's chest. At the autopsy, we discover that bullet went in one side of his heart and out the other. That will do it.
Albert James is charged with second-degree murder, but he ultimately takes a plea deal for the lesser charge of reckless manslaughter and is sentenced to 10 years behind bars.
This isn't a crime of passion. It's a crime of rage. There's a difference. And Albert engages in that, and it winds up in the death of Clarence Branch. You get involved in emotional circumstances, be very careful. Don't allow something that's minor become something major. If you let it fester, you let it simmer, it could evolve into something that takes your life away from you.
A hail of bullets raining from the sky propels Kenda and two young officers into a mind-blowing investigation.
This case was a simple case, but it was so incredibly rare and so different that it is something you always remember.
John Pellegrino was doing something that we all do, warming up a cup of coffee in the microwave as the coffee's heating up.
What the hell's going on? He didn't know what was going on at first, and then realized it was gunshots coming into his house.
Across town, Officer Kenda is stuck refereeing a less urgent conflict.
She's about my height, brown hair, teeth like a horse. Shouldn't you be writing this down?
I think we're okay, man.
So you're gonna find her and arrest her, right?
At this particular time, I was not in investigations. I was in patrol, and much of work in patrol can be quite mundane.
Can't you see? This car is in my driveway.
I tried to tell her.
This woman calls the police because she is enraged that her neighbor is blocking her driveway with his car.
It doesn't look like it's in your driveway.
I measured, and it is over the line by 2 inches.
A whole 2 inches.
So I suggest you do is put your tape measure back in your toolbox and go back to whatever it is you were doing.
I pay your salary, you know.
And I appreciate that. You have a wonderful day, ma'am.
So, to protect and serve, was that protecting or serving?
And the officer involved was a fellow named Dave Felice, very sharp guy. He was frustrated. We walked back to our cars and said, look, don't we have something we can do that's like police work?
Come on. What we're doing is essential to a functioning society.
For Paul 1, we have a code 3.
4.1 en route.
I looked at him and I thought, well, here, you wanted action? Here you go.
At the location, Kenda and Felice meet up with Officer Ralph Bruning, another young patrolman assigned to Kenda's sector.
I think somebody's trying to kill me.
Okay. Is there anyone in the house?
Not that I'm aware of. I was alone when the shooting started.
All right, stay here.
We still don't know where these shots came from or if there are going to be more of them.
Police!
So we go in the house, guns drawn.
Show yourself!
Your initial arrival at the scene of a shooting is the most dangerous time for police. If there's going to be shooting, it's going to be right now.
All clear.
Same here.
Look at this place.
Damn.
The only room that really suffered damage was the kitchen. All the windows were shot out, all the cabinets were destroyed, the appliances had holes in them. It looked like a war zone.
Okay, let's go talk to the homeowner. See what the hell happened here.
One of the first things that you'd want to find out is why John Pellegrino. What is it about him that would have caused somebody to shoot at his house this many times?
It's clear. So what exactly happened here?
Man, I wish I knew. I mean, one minute I was standing there getting my coffee, and the next I was on the floor dodging bullets. It was crazy.
They find out that John Pellegrino has a military history, and when shots start firing around him, he does what you do instinctively as a soldier. You basically fall to the ground and starts crawling.
No, I mean, I wish I knew. Is Is it safe for me to go back in?
Well, it's safe, but we still need to process the house for evidence. You might want to use your neighbor's phone and call your insurance guy.
All right, yeah, I'll do that now. Thank you.
I'll call and get the detectives to come out.
Who says we need detectives? I think we can handle this.
Really?
Come on, let's take a look inside.
Bernie and Felice lit up like Christmas bulbs. They were thrilled at the idea of doing something besides measuring the bumper of a car 2 inches over some crazy lady's driveway. The advantage I had in using my officers instead of detectives is no one's hurt. It becomes a property crime, and property detectives do not respond to scenes. They're too busy.
Inside the home, Kenda walks the officers through the evidence in the kitchen.
This was an opportunity for me to teach and to train these two guys and how to think like a detective. What do we think, and why do we think that?
Okay, gentlemen. What do you see?
It's like a hell of a lot of shots.
Over 100 rounds have been fired into this kitchen.
Can you tell the caliber?
Looks like 22s.
Which indicated that it most likely was being fired from some type of rifle.
So whoever did this was trying like hell to take our guy out.
Are you sure about that? And don't you think it's a bit odd with this many shots fired, none of them hit the homeowner? What's all that?
I still think about it. What if he's not the target? We don't know what it is. But I don't think it's focused on him.
Kenda and his officers venture into the backyard in search of more clues.
Hey, Kenda, these holes in the top of this fence look like bullet holes.
Yeah, now we just need to find out exactly where they came from. Yeah, we need to get the lab out here to help us with this.
Dispatch, restart crime lab.
The lab techs have tools that officers in the field don't carry with them when they're out on patrol. They're going to be key in helping us assess what exactly is going on here.
A lab tech arrives within the hour, and with her help, Kenda hopes to determine the precise angle by which the bullet struck the fence.
CSI trucks carry a dowel rod of various sizes, and they're designed to tell you angle of fire and caliber from bullet damage. We know it's 22, so we take 22 sticks, insert those sticks in the bullet holes in the fence.
Take another look at the holes, boys.
What do you see? Well, they're all coming down. Exactly. They're not coming across. They're not horizontal. They're at a 30-degree angle downward.
So basically, these rounds were losing steam before they hit inside and out here.
You got it, Felice.
These bullets are almost out of gas by the time they arrive in this kitchen. They still have enough punch to cause a lot of damage, but they're a long way away when they're being fired. So whatever they're shooting at isn't this guy. It's collateral damage. They're shooting at something else.
So if the homeowner wasn't the target, who was?
And who pulled the trigger?
I looked at both of them and I said, that, gentlemen, is what we have to learn. So we're investigating this incident in which over 100 shots are fired into somebody's house. 30-degree down angle, where did they come from? And that is the new question.
To scan the area for clues.
Bingo. There's our target.
Really?
Yeah, have a look yourself.
A few hundred yards away, there is a 25-foot telephone pole with a streetlight attached.
Okay, I see the street light, but so what? Wait a minute. Oh, is that a bullet hole in it?
I said, there's your target. Someone's shooting at the light from the other side of that area. And all he can see is the light because that ground is mounded. So it's an up angle from the guy's backyard and a down angle from the other side.
How the hell are we supposed to know where those rounds came from?
I know an engineer company around the corner. Maybe they could help.
That'd be great. Let's find out.
I'm on it.
In all the years I was a policeman, if you approach someone and you ask them for their help, they're going to provide it. Everyone wants to help the police. They really do. Most of the world is just fine. There's only a small percentage of it that isn't fine.
Dr. Kenneth, it's Michael Orr from the engineering company I told you about. It's good to meet you.
Also, Burning said that you were trying to determine the point of origin for some bullets that landed here?
Oh, that's correct.
Okay, we just need whatever information you can give us, types of ammunition, that sort of thing.
They have the bullets, so they know the bullet's mass. They have what type of gun was used, and so this is like a physics problem, kind of a math problem to figure out.
They're working away with their pads and their little computers that they've got. They've got measurements and are taking laser beam shots and they're going crazy. Studying the angle of incoming bullets. They've got that all worked out.
Hey, Sergeant, you want to come here? I think we have something.
What is it?
Your point of origin is a half mile away. Here, on Woodman Valley Road.
Are you sure of that?
We'll stake our professional reputation on it.
That's good enough for me. Thank you, sir.
So they pack up all their toys and go back to work. And I sit Bruning and Felice down. That's okay.
Now, what type of person will be out on a Saturday morning shooting a lamppost and not think twice about where the bullets are landing?
I don't know, a kid maybe?
Now you're thinking. Hey, come on. Let's head over to Woodman Valley Road.
We drive over with our map of Woodman Valley Road at the exact spot where we should be. There's a woman unloading her groceries out of the back of an SUV.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Is something wrong?
By chance you have a minor living here with you?
Yes, my 15-year-old son's inside with his friend.
Does he have access to a gun?
Yes, actually, he does.
This woman then assured Sergeant Kenda that her son would not have been firing the gun when she wasn't home.
Would you mind if we spoke with your son and his friend?
No, that's fine.
Oh, would you also mind if we looked around your backyard while we wait?
Oh, no, go ahead. I'll bring him out here.
Thank you.
So we walked back there and we immediately knew we were in the right spot.
Hey, guys. Look at them all.
There's a pile of over 100 expended .22 caliber casings. They're fresh and shiny.
You could tell that they had just recently been fired, and so it was a strong indication that this was a source of the gunfire.
I'll be damned. That's that same streetlight.
Both Bruning and Felice were just beaming. They thought that was the best day of their lives. Much better than measuring bumpers of cars.
This is my son, Jake. This is his friend, Tim.
So here comes this kid. He's white as a piece of paper and his shirt's bouncing because his heart's going 100 miles an hour.
You boys doing some target practice out here?
Not a parent present.
How do you explain those?
We did some shooting.
Jake, what were you thinking?
We were just messing around.
Well, you're messing around with a bunch of bullet holes in a man's house about a half mile from here. And you're extremely lucky he wasn't hit.
Oh my God. I'm gonna be sick.
We didn't mean to do that. We were just trying to shoot the streetlight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, officer.
Jake Ellis is the good kid. He's not a criminal. Just did a silly, stupid, kid-like thing.
Sit out front. Let's go.
He got this gun from his grandfather. He was enamored of it. Well, once you have it, you've got to try it out if you're a kid. And that's exactly what he did. Today's another kid. Bring your rifle. We're going to have a good time.
So from where Jake and Tim were shooting, they were shooting in an upward direction towards the streetlight. And once the bullets essentially passed the streetlights, they lost momentum and then started to return to Earth, essentially.
If I was John Pellegrino after this happened to me, I would go buy a lotto ticket because I would feel like I'm probably, at that moment, the luckiest man alive.
As for Jake Ellis and his friend Tim, they are about to learn a valuable lesson, courtesy of the Colorado Springs Police Department.
Couldn't cuff him. Hands on your back. Boys, what you did today was irresponsible and extremely dangerous. When you break the law, there's serious consequences.
We made it abundantly clear they could have taken a life with their silliness. We put them in the back of cruisers in handcuffs just for drill. We're not going to take them anywhere, but we made them believe they're on their way to Sing Sing.
What's gonna happen to us?
Well, that's up to the judge. But you could be facing some serious time.
They were in tears and about ready to throw up.
Did you guys learn your lesson?
Yes, sir.
Are you ever gonna do something like this again?
No, sir.
Come on out.
And then we took the handcuffs off and gave back to Mom. They needed some time to go change their pants anyway.
In addition to teaching two young boys a valuable lesson, the case also left an indelible mark on two up-and-coming officers.
I felt that I had done my job as a supervisor, that I provided them with a level of confidence that they perhaps never had. And that was important to me. Rooney and Felice are elated. It was their moment to do something different, to do something in their minds exciting. They were able to solve a mystery that appeared to be unsolvable, and those are the best kind.